Hi everybody,
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we'll be talking about Freehand. This is designed by Julio E. Nazario and it is published by Indie Boards and Cards.
Imagine a world where you can paint without paint, where you can sculpt without clay. Well, that's the world we live in now because you can play freehand. In this game, you're basically painting a picture, but you are using, instead of paint, you're using cubes. You're using a little artist kind of stylus in order to sculpt these pictures, trying to make them as accurate as possible using there's a limited amount of cubes. I'm going to give a quick overview of how to play. All right, here's our setup for freehand. Every player is going to grab an artist's pen and the matching cubes of that color. And then we're going to shuffle this deck, and we are going to lay out a number of cards equal to the number of players plus 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to get other players to guess which picture we have chosen by drawing that picture with our cubes. And we can only use the artist's pen to make that happen. All players are going to be drawing simultaneously. We're going to choose one of these pictures in our head, and then we're going to count down 3, 2, 1, and go, and start drawing. Let's go with this turtle over here. We're going to try to draw that turtle as fast as possible with these cubes. We are incentivized to draw quickly because whoever finishes first gets to be the first one to guess other people's drawings. However, we're also incentivized to draw accurately because when other people guess our drawing on the first round, we're going to get a point as well. However, we're also incentivized to draw whatever the hardest thing out there is, because if you're the only one who chose that object or that card, you're going to get a point that way too. So you're going to get points for lots of different things. But yeah, let's go ahead and choose to draw our turtle. We're going to go 3, 2, 1, and go. By the way, I'm terrible at this game, so sorry for everyone watching at home. Alright, so that does not look like a turtle at all, but we're going to go with that. We tried to make 4 legs happen and a little head. I don't know. What's going to happen is if we're the first one done, we're going to grab our timer, we're going to flip it over. Everybody else has until that timer runs out to continue drawing. As soon as that timer runs out, everyone needs to stop drawing, and then the guessing phase begins. Starting with the person who was the first person to finish their drawing, they're going to take their pointer and they're going to select someone else's drawing around the table that they think has, this is obvious. So maybe someone drew a banana. Obviously, this is the only card that has a banana in it. So we'd say, hey, I think it's you over there, Bethany. I think this is the picture that you chose. If that is in fact correct, what they're going to do is they're going to put their thing there as well, showing that they did indeed get that. They're going to clean up their area, and we're both going to get a point. We're going to get a point because we guessed accurately. They're going to get a point because they were able to get their question guessed on the first try. We're going to go around clockwise until everybody has had a chance to guess. At that point, everyone who has been guessed accurately gets a point, and everyone who guessed accurately gets a point. If there's still people, however, after that who have not had their picture drawn guessed accurately, we're going to keep on going. And in fact, if you made the wrong guess, nobody gets any points, and they're still in the round, you're still in the round. The second time through, as we're guessing, this time only the correct guessers are going to get points. And they're going to get a point if they're able to correctly figure someone else out. But again, the drawer themselves, not going to get points this time. Okay, once everybody has had their drawing accurately guessed, what you're going to do, everyone's going to pick or put their token on whatever their question was. And there's going to be a whole bunch of those things out there. Any of the drawings only has one marker on it. That player is going to get an extra point. All right, so in this case, these two have nothing on them, so nothing's going to happen there. 2 people over here both chose the monkey with the banana card. We're the only person who chose the turtle card, so we're going to get an extra point. Well, how do you keep track of the points? Well, these cubes right here, those are your points. So if we were to guess accurately, we would take a point. We set it off to the side. If we were to have ours accurately guessed, we would get a point. And if we were the only ones over here that used that particular card to draw, we're going to get a point. All those points are going to come out of our pool of cubes that we can use to draw with. And now we're in a situation where we have less cubes. Every time we draw from here on out, we're going to have less things to work with. It's kind of a neat catch-up mechanism. Basically, the worse off you're doing, the more cubes you're going to have to work with. Once one player has gotten 10 or more points at the end of a guessing phase, they are going to be declared the winner. If more than one player went over 10, then whoever has the most points wins the game. And if there's still tie, you have to keep on playing more rounds and more rounds until eventually someone is the clear winner.
The stylus actually makes it a little bit more challenging than you think it would be, because you can only move the cubes around and do that like with that. I remember I was playing this with our 6-year-old and she kept asking me if she could just move them with her hand. And I'm like, that's not what the game is, kid. You have to use the stylus. So it actually made it a lot more challenging than you would think to try to get the picture that you wanted to create.
I thought it was really interesting how you wanted to go as quickly as possible because you want to have yours guessed first. So you are moving at rapid speed, right? And you're trying to go as fast as possible. Of course, that's challenging because then you're fumbling around and whatever. So yeah. I love that you have that tension, that pace kind of being pushed onto you the whole time.
Yeah, except you also want to do well because the guesser can get twice to score a point, but you as the artist, you only get one time, that first go round. So if you don't do a well enough picture in that first go round, you don't get any points, even if it's scored, even if they guess correctly in the next round. So while you do in a rush, you also like need to try at the same time.
One of the most interesting parts about this game to me is the fact that the cubes are also your scoring points. You're diminishing your pool, your resources that you have to work with things. So the more points you score, the less you have to work with to make future drawings. It's kind of a cool catch-up mechanism, and at the same time using one resource or one item, one component for multiple uses in the game, which I thought was really cool and clever.
Yeah, overall, my 6-year-old really liked this. Like, I was just getting it out to learn it, and she just wanted me to tell her what we're supposed to do. So it wasn't like an actual game the first time we played, but she really enjoyed it, even though she kept wanting to try and use her hands. But she had a really good time with it, of trying to figure out what picture it was. Even when we were playing just between her and I was able to guess the picture, and she was really excited that I could figure out what it was. So even when we weren't playing the actual game, she liked the concept of it, of trying to use these cubes to match it with a picture.
Yeah, for me, this is not like an everyday kind of a game. This is not a game I'm going to play every time. But at the same time, it's got a great family setting. If you're playing with family and you're wanting kind of a Pictionary-ish game but don't want to play Pictionary, this is a great option. Because you get to draw, but you don't have to draw with cubes. Everybody's doing badly because we're all just using these cubes. So I think you get to laugh about the results of what everybody does. Again, not an everyday play for me. Not something I'm going to bring to game night.
Yeah.
But a really interesting, fun family drawing game.
Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see our videos as they come out. Until then, you can find us in all of these places.
You guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
You guys, thanks so much for watching. This game was provided to us by a publisher in exchange for a fair and honest review.
And if you want to see more stuff, check out over here to see something we think you might like.
And over here, we think that YouTube has picked out a great video for you you're going to love. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.